I have a family member who receives services, is in a provider. And a lot of what we see coming down from the federal and the state level is more individualized services, individuals living in their own homes, maybe with their family, but not going necessarily to like a bigger group home kind of thing. And pushing for community inclusion. So I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball. These pockets, the Union Village is really meant for people that are deaf and blind. Now, that's not necessarily very inclusive to the broader community. So how does that feel, especially Mr. Little? How do you feel about that?
Well, I would say that first and foremost, individuals with vision and hearing loss is what you call a low incidence population, which means it is a very small population of individuals. And often when you have a low incidence population, there's not a lot of services that's available to it. So for example, because it's near and dear to my heart, we need to be sure we're providing that type of support and services. Just being honest with you, there are other group homes and programs that are out there for individuals with autism. There are homes for people who have disabilities, with mental health disabilities. There are homes for individuals who may have HIV or some other type of health disparity. There are all types of groups, but when it comes to a person with vision and hearing loss, that is a very low incidence population. I think it's great for us to focus on that. But we get calls all the time. People say, well, is there a home for CP? Oh yeah, there's so-and-so. Or you got a person with cognitive delays. We've got a program here in Talladega, Rainbow Omega. I think they do a great service, but their service doesn't really match what AIDB in the home has going on, serving individuals in this unique population.
Yeah, and those services are so unique to each individual, or in this community. And I feel like if you let's say you got an apartment downtown Birmingham, you may have more access to individuals that don't have those specific challenges, but you may suffer in that you won't receive as good as services for what you need in your supports.
Absolutely.
So it's a give and a take there. And I support, you have direct experience to be able to speak from that.
Absolutely. And then one thing I want to say is that what makes us different, and Doug touched on it just a little bit, is that the team of folks that we have, it requires, it definitely takes a family to raise a child. And so, and I use that only in an analogy, but we have a team of individuals here. We have Tamara Kidd, who's our program supervisor. She has a team of folks that really bring folks together. Then we have Amanda Curry, who's our residential manager. Doug's already mentioned Jeff Chappell, he's our maintenance technician. And then we've got case managers, Tamara Hardaway, Debbie, who was here, our interpreters, Liz and Amelia. I mean, the list goes on of folks who are committed to helping. It is not just, and these folks are specialists in their field, specialize in deafness or blindness or interpreting, transportation. These are specialized skills.
Yep.
That's something that you wouldn't get at anywhere else. I mean, everybody on the team can sign. They can communicate through sign language. So if you have somebody who's deaf, you walk up, you just go to talking with them. You're communicating. However, if you were to go to a place that doesn't have that same access, like the flashing doorbell, imagine living in an apartment somewhere and there's a fire or there's something going on. I mean,
and you got no way to know until it's too late. It's too hot.
Exactly.
The smoke starts coming
in.
in.
That's what makes us different.
Yeah. And
I was just going to add, and the tone from the top. I mean, the support from Dr. John Massey, president of AIDB, their board, and the support we have at the home and our board. I mean, totally committed to this, so that we then can proceed to make it happen. And I already talked about that we've got their staff on campus, but I mean, we're on every Tuesday morning, 10 o'clock, was it 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock.
2 hour, so meeting, solving problems, trying to prevent problems from happening. And, but I'd also like to say a side benefit that has occurred here is that the Presbyterian Home for Children, you know, our staff, our leadership, you know, we're stronger by hanging out with these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, we are. I mean, we just how we get stronger as we work together, but we're stronger because of this organization. And what we also do, you know, with respect to children and families.
Benefits AIDB as well. It's partners working together. It just makes sense all the way around.
Absolutely.
You guys are geographically pretty close to each other. You guys are very interested and passionate about what you do. So it's almost like if you didn't do it, God would be like, what are you doing? I've given you all these opportunities to do this. You know?
And we have fun together too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to talk a little bit about, we had Mrs. Price here with us